What's up, guys? It's Shane Ashley back in with Hamilton's Hangar. Today we got the Freewing 70mm Vulcan out here for a performance flight. Let's do it.
Four minutes. Minutes. One minute. Seconds. 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8.
No power for landing, all the way out there by the power lines.
7.
Hey guys, welcome back to Motion RC Live. I'm James, as always, every Friday. It's 12 p.m. It is August 20th today, and as you just saw, we asked, we're going to be joined today by Hamilton's Hangar. It's Che Hamilton. If you haven't been to his channel, the link is in the description, and for all you guys always looking for links when we get to our socials, I got links to the YouTube channels in there as well, and I'm going to try to do that going forward every episode hereafter. So he's going to join us because he managed to get his hands on a Vulcan early, made a couple videos over the weekend after last week when we debuted it, and they were awesome. Couldn't have come at a better time. People saw he dropped his maiden flight, then he did a little grass ops flight, and his grass is pretty thick, took right off, which was exciting, and then I asked him earlier this week if he'd come out and just film a standard flight, raw sound, so I wanted to play it out. Just let the plane talk for itself because it's a solid plane. So we're excited to bring Che in. So let's do that now. Che, you with us?
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody? Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming on. And man, again, like, you know, just so I reiterate, we didn't send you one. You just got in early. One went out the worst because you're so close. You live in Illinois, so you're an hour behind us. You're right. You're close to where our warehouse is. So you managed to get when the videos popped up. I think it was Saturday. So you managed to, I assume the assembly went well.
Yep, assembly went well. It took about 15 minutes to get all the, 8 screws together, I think. And, yeah, you know, just a little bit of wire management and, you know, simple programming in the controller, and up we were at. So it was awesome.
And, you know, from the maiden. So I just, you know, we'll start out before we get into who you are, just for people who might not know you. We'll definitely get into Che's history and how his channel started and such. But for at least the beginning, we're going to talk Vulcan. So just your impressions of it so far with how many flights you've had thus far.
Yeah, so I think that you guys can hear my first impression on my very first flight of it. I'm just like, ooh, on the takeoff, you know, it's just completely smooth, you know, no aileron trim needed. I know that was on my end centering the servos, but, you know, just fly straight and true, no gyro, no nothing. Flying a lot of these larger birds, you know, I feel like, you know, the gyro just helps null out a lot of that, just a little bit of activity going on. You know, and this small sport jet here doesn't need any of that. It's small, it's compact, it's right in the back of my SUV, which I have 2 kids, so, you know, that's perfect. You know, they can come with and I can still bring my jet. And yeah, just, you know, it's fast. You know, I like speed. You know, who doesn't like the hunger for more power at this point, right? So when you can get this kind of speed out of a small package, you can't ask for anything better, and the price is on point. So
you jumped right on it. So that's awesome. And yeah, we're just watching here. You have, I saw you have the, were you flying on the Admiral 4000? It looked like.
Yep, that's right. Admiral 4000 Pro, 60C pack.
And you got your receiver right up where I put mine. It's like the perfect spot for it. I love the way they did that because I like having the receiver up above the battery. Easier to get the aerials where you need to get them. Works really well.
Absolutely. I did fly on a 5000 as well, guys. So for you guys that are wondering, it does fly good. You know, it just flies a little bit heavier, right? So, but you can definitely manage to fly 5000.
Did you notice any difference in time, or were you?
Yeah, I did get a little. I did go for 5 minutes. I increased my my timer by 30 seconds, and I was able to get 5 minutes easy with 29% left. So 3.7s on the cells.
Yeah, and I you know, I'm the type of person with 70s. I tend to stick with the 4000s. I just, you know, the trade-off for the extra 30 seconds for, you know, I never find it worth it. I'm like, I'd rather just be the lightest I can be. I feel like it'll be, you know, the fastest it's going to be is probably on the 4000. And, you know, I'll land a little earlier and deal with it. But a plane like this, you know, you should be able to expect a flight like you were up for, well, about 5 minutes and 20 seconds, you know, and you did some gliding mix. You know, it's definitely some mixed flying. So people are going to love it. I mean, everybody that's, you know, that interested in a plane like this, like, it's going to be a hard plane not to enjoy, you know?
Yeah,
that's the way I find about it.
Yeah. The motor seems to be really conservable as well towards the battery, you know, getting flight times like that on the 70 millimeter. You know, that's pretty good. So
So now cut back to Che. I want to show, if you guys haven't been to his channel, you've been doing YouTube now about a year or year and a half.
Yeah, I think I've been doing it since March of last year. I think that's when I started
March of
posting
last year,
videos.
was it right around COVID? Is that when you decided to jump
Yeah,
in?
yeah, that's right. That's right. Yep, there's a lot of stuff happening in the world, and had some big changes go on too. And I was home a lot, and yeah, so that's when I kind of just like dove right into it. You know.
So now, if you check his channel, you will see that, not only has he just done the Vulcan, you've done a lot of planes, you've done a lot of Freewing birds, you have them all behind you, jets, but you also do a lot of other, you're buying whatever you like and you're filming it and, having fun with it. So you've gone a long way in, such a short time. So by the time you did the YouTube channel, how long had you been flying before you said, you know what, I'm going to film myself do it? Or was it like right from the beginning?
I'd only been, I think it was like right from the beginning. I actually did have my very first maiden on film. Wasn't talking or anything like that. I just wanted it on film, and yeah, it didn't go good. And then we just kept recording after that, and I didn't like doing it. It was only for my own personal benefit. And then I seen people doing flight reviews all the time, and I was like, you know what? I could probably do this too. And so I just, just started flying a little bit, and then I started talking more, and you can gradually see in my videos going from the past to forward now, just the progression in terms of, talking and flying. But yeah, I usually try to get most of my videos on video, on most of my flying on video. I usually, there's handful of times where I just go out and fly. Like this past weekend, went to an event, things like that. But for the most part, I try to go out there and just record. I find it enjoyable, and I know it puts a little bit of stress on me when I'm on video flying. But I keep my videos transparent in my channel. You'll see a lot of bad and a lot of good. So,
Yeah, man, it's so cool because I remember I caught your channel early on because it sort of popped up out of nowhere, and I dug your enthusiasm, your youth, just a different experience. That's sort of my videos. How I've been doing this a while now, so I'm not necessarily a beginner, but I'm still, I'm not an expert pilot. So I loved, what attracted me to your channel was here's a guy just starting out. Like you can follow this man's progress, through the hobby and see how fast you grew. You know what I mean? You went from 0 to, now you're flying everything. You're doing, 12 SF-22s. You're upgrading power systems. You're customizing planes. You just dove all in, and I'm glad you did because I think your channel's great, and the fact that it's, grown to this point, getting the first 1,000 subs is really hard. And you did it, and I'm excited for you and look forward to more of what what you definitely got coming. So I want to ask you, what has it been so far? What has been your favorite, aircraft that you just can't get away from flying?
Oh,
and it doesn't have to be one of ours. You say what has to say yours.
That's okay. It's the 80 millimeter L39 back here. Yeah, this is my most favorite jet. It just flies the best, in my opinion. I did my own custom livery on it in the 49ers scheme here last year. This is one of my like second or third jets I ever got. It's beat up, here and there, but not as beat up as some of my other birds. And it just flies the best. I have no complaints over it. And you can fly it on 4,000 and 5,000 and 6,000. So there's a lot of versatility, and it's just my favorite. So
that's awesome. It's so sweet. It's such a good looking. I like the L39 as well. That's one, I Batman mine. You got there. It sounds like something about the shape of it.
Good.
It's like it's a good customizable aircraft. Yeah, and to me now, comparing the L39 flight to Vulcan, like find it to be similar qualities, right?
Yeah, definitely. Aerobatic. The L39 is definitely an aerobatic jet as well. Definitely with some higher rates, and I just think that they fly very similar, quick, very similar in the turns. You can find a lot of these similar qualities in these jets, just by flying them, right? So.
Totally. So now do you find yourself, obviously you're always trying, what are you working on? What do you think you need to be better at as far as a pilot? Like, I know there are things that I need to be better at as far as a pilot, but do you have things you're trying to work on to improve?
Yeah,
that?
I'm really trying to find a sweet spot on the landings. Landings are, I think, one of the hardest things, right? I've been working on a lot of touch and goes here and there. Just trying to find the power sweet spot of all these jets. They have a sweet spot on the landing. You can't
Yeah.
just glide them all down, right? So none of them, not all of them are like the Vulcan where you can just bring it on in. And so I think that's been like a big problem for me in the past, and then even sometimes now, or sometimes rushing the land, just need to be more aware of, just aware of my sticks and exactly where they are, because I believe that stuff is important. When it comes down to landing the jets, we can sit there and mess around in the air all the time, things like that, but the landings are the most important thing, right? So that's just one thing that I've been really, really trying to fine tune. And I do not use a simulator or anything like that, so all my stick time is real time. So I just, it's just all mental and something that you kind of gotta just keep getting down on in my brain all the time, every time I'm out flying, because it can be easily to veer away from that, and especially if you're out flying at the club with other people talking, things like that, right? Trying to
Yeah.
show off, things like that, because we're all guilty of doing that. So, yeah.
Oh, good explanation, man. Yeah, I'm the same. Funny. I'd gotten a simulator, and I just never found it to be as exciting. Like, I never liked sitting there playing the simulator. I'd rather just be out, with everything on the line, if you will. Like, the only way to learn, make sure it's in the air, as long as possible, and then bring it down. But, no, that's awesome.
And I can understand.
So, guys,
I can understand
what?
those 3D guys. So.
I'm sorry, say it again.
I can understand that for the 3D guys that want to fly 3D, practicing all the time on the simulator, but that's not necessarily what I'm into. So
yeah, I always find there's just a difference with, no nerves. Blues Dragon got it. Like, there's no nerves when you play with the sim, and I never feel the power behind the sticks the way, something we spoke about yesterday. Like, and I'm sure all you guys are, the bigger the plane you're flying, or maybe the more money you have into it, or whatever, it feels different on the sticks. Even though the tension on the sticks never changed, it just feels heavier, and you feel the power of whatever it is you're flying for some reason almost translates through the thumb, and I never get that on the simulator, and that's what, something about that is what always draws me, to it. So I want to ask you a question, because obviously you're young, were you into aviation at all prior to finding RC flying?
no, man, I was not. That's a crazy thing. I've never even rode an airplane.
Oh, nice.
Not that I'm scared of them. I've just never rode in one. But aviation was never. Oh, like I was like, hey, look at that airplane or anything like that. There was never that for me when I was younger. To be honest with you, I'm not really too sure what got me into like the whole aviation thing. It's all really recent,
Yeah.
To be honest with you, the past couple years, when I had a DJI Mavic first, and so that would kind of like, within the whole geo fences and things like that, I ended up selling it, and then I found the RC jets, and so that's when I started like, becoming more looking into airplanes. I play Microsoft Flight Simulator in my free time as well. So like things like that, like, I like just like started like diving in. And then as I became more into these RC jets is when I started looking more into like real jets and things like that. And just loving aviation. Now it's awesome. It's just a joy to be involved in it. And then my kids, they're 6 and 4, and they're always like, every time they see an airplane or a jet or something, they're always like yelling and screaming about it. So their love for aviation starting now as a young child, and that's just really nice to be able to pass down at this point. And yeah, so.
That's awesome, and that's one of the reasons why I also love your channels, being that you are youthful. And we always find, I feel like it's always spoken about in the forums that this is an older man's game, so on and so forth. But it's people like you who show that, dude, I'm cool and I fly, RC airplanes. You know what I mean? It's fun to do for youth. But then also adding to that is you're getting into scale aircraft, and all of a sudden you start to, how could you not? I don't think there's anyone who could fly an RC jet of a scale aircraft and not end up in a YouTube, rabbit hole of all information about what that thing did in real life. Like, every time a new plane, especially a scale one, comes to, Motion RC, I end up sitting there. Oh, what did it do? Oh my, it did that. And you're getting stories and you're hearing from veterans who did it. And, and that all sort of adds to, you know, what we do as well. Because, like, behind you now, you've got a MiG-21, you've got a Goshawk, you've got an L-39. There's histories with all of these. And,
Yes.
you know, so now that you're exploring that the way I still do to this day, is there an aircraft that isn't around yet that you're like, I want to fly an RC version of that? Have you found, like, something that you love that you want? Because everybody's probably got their dream plane that isn't produced. What would yours be?
Man, to be honest with you, I'm gonna be that guy that says I don't have one yet because I don't. You know, it's sitting right there. The F-22 Raptor. That is just my most favorite jet in the entire world. It's one of a kind. I just can't get enough of it, man. You know. And then now that I upgraded it to 12S, it flies even faster and better. You know, and then you can still glide it down forever too. It's still light. So that's my dream jet that I already have. So. And now I've upgraded the power even more. It's more my dream jet, right? Since I can make it go even faster than before. And but yeah,
Good thing
so
it rips. You got it ripping around. All right, so that's his favorite aircraft. Now, and as far as I know, you're a fan of Freewing. So, is there a Freewing jet that what's next? You know, of what's available. You know, have you had your eyes on that maybe the Vulcan might have strayed you from for a second?
yeah, I got two on my radar, man. I got the 8S Phantom or just an ARF Plus, you know, something like that, or the MiG-29, because you know that's an awesome big jet and it looks gorgeous. I've never even seen one in person yet, and you know, but I've seen pictures and it just looks absolutely amazing and gorgeous. Lots of room for some light modifications on there as well. You know. I think that might be one that's on my radar. I know it takes two batteries, you know, but
It's
it
worth
seems
it.
like it.
It's worth it.
I love people calling it the Big 29.
The big 29. I added a MiG Mafia emoji, guys. Check the new emojis. It might be there. And I added a smooth for you, Alex. So when you put the smooth graphic on top, then is it there? Oh, maybe we didn't maybe you have to refresh. I believe I saved it. It might be there. If it's not, then I'll get it up.
Smooth earlier, and it made me look twice. I was like, oh, where'd that come from?
Yeah, man, got that MiG Mafia because those there it is. Smooth is there, and there was a MiG Mafia one I think after it.
Nice.
But,
yeah, there it is. I see it.
There it is.
You gotta change that text to white.
See, we're in the dark screen,
Yeah.
so if I change it to white, then you know I use YouTube in dark mode.
There's something wrong with you.
if you're watching YouTube in light
Look
mode,
at all the smooths.
what's wrong with you? But always gotta add those smooths. So you know, back to so Che. Oh, I saw your wife in the chat, Ashley. I didn't mention. You know, is Hamilton's
Ashley.
Hangar is you know, is a husband and wife dynamic duo, as you call it. So you know, gotta give her love. She's always behind the camera, you know, catching that stuff.
Awesome.
So that ain't easy to do, and you know, wanted to shout her out as well because she's obviously
awesome.
a big part of your channel.
It's awesome. Thanks, babe, for coming by. That's awesome.
Yeah, I always see her. She's the #1 commenter on the videos. That's how the way it should be. But she's always answering people on your videos and such, and you know that's what you need. It's the interaction. You know, if you're gonna grow on YouTube.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's amazing.
It's
hey,
great.
Don't let her fool you. At first, she wasn't all into the recording thing, you know. But then it grew. I got it to grow on her, right? So you know, she's like, this is actually awesome. You know, watching. You know, so. And you know, the fact that she likes doing it is awesome, you know, and it's enjoyable and it's something that we can enjoy together. And we've been to a couple events together now, which is awesome because she actually enjoys going. You know, it isn't just like, oh, you know, she actually enjoys going, which is cool. You know, and she finds interaction there as well. So it's good to see that, good to be involved with that, and you know, just something that we can be doing together. And have the kids involved in too.
And any easy recording, then you get used to being in the lens. Like I feel like there were events that Alex and I, before we were pilots or flying, you know, we were just cameramen going to these events, and you're always looking through the glass, and then you start thinking like, was I even there? Like I just like everything I saw was through a lens. So when I watch it on, you know, on the edit, I'm like, was I even there? It's like you get so used to it, but then you can't. You know, every time I'm even looking at planes, I was like, oh, I wish I had a camera on it.
Missed that
you know,
shot.
missed that one. especially at our field. Sometimes we could just get there's always planes going down. If we just always recorded every single flight, we'd have a crash compilation in about 2 weeks at our field. It'd be awesome. But so all right, so the next one I want sweet, man. So, so guys out there, I wanted to say, obviously links in the description to the Vulcan, guys. Pre-order on. It's going to be shipping out around early September. So I made a mistake last week on that front. But grab one, and as soon as you get it, you will enjoy it for sure. So, Che, I want to thank you so much for coming on. I want you to hang out with us because we're going to transition here into the rest of the show. And then for the questions and answers, I'd love if you have the time, hang out, and then we could have some, answer some questions from the live chat, guys. So if you have any questions for Che, hang on to them, and we'll get there as we tour around the RC community. So, Hamilton, you're going to join us. We're going to go to Hobby Squawk first, I believe. Oh, no, we're going to the wheel.
Are we?
It's time.
It's time.
And now I have to move this stuff around because I got to get the wheel front and center.
Oh, before we show this week's winner.
Oh, yes.
Let's take a quick run.
So I reached out to all the previous winners and I said, can you send me some pictures? Let's see people enjoying, their winning. So that's Tug Hill RC with a Sea Mafia shirt. I dig it. Sea Mafia's
amazing.
in, I absolutely love it.
Oh, yeah.
He got his Su-35, and he always says he puts, logos of whatever company the aircraft is for when he posts it. So that is Tug Hill RC rocking with the Su-35. Then we got, which one? This Michael Holder with the almost as dirty as my coffee cup coffee mug. Even if you just want a coffee mug, you can, rock it wherever you want. It looks like there's coffee in there, not alcohol, Michael. But Michael Holder, thank you. Then we got Just Enough RC, was out there with his Lipish.
He's FPVing it already.
He's FPVing it already.
Love it.
I think he won a gift card, so he used it for the Lipish. Then we got David Ovenden. He got himself a toolkit, and he's got the Havoc on the rack in the back.
Good looks.
The Havoc on the rack in the back.
All right.
Nice. I'm like a rabbit. Then just last week, Daniel Cox won the boat. He won the Caribbean, the Bancroft sailboat. So that's Jolly Pirate. So people asked him, where's his pirate flag? He says he's going to make one and put it on there. So ahoy, matey. Then we've got Daniel Cox. He was our Grippin winner.
Big winner.
Big winner. Big Grippin winner. So he's out there with the Grippin. Then we got Dad's RC Hanger. There he is. He won the buggy. And I absolutely love that picture. I love that I'm putting faces to names. It's awesome. And then we have Blues Dragon with his coffee mug and his winnings right there. I love it, man. Thank you so much. And I see, it's funny, whenever I see Jolly Pirate say like ahoy hoy, I think of the pirate in the Dodgeball. In Dodgeball. I picture the guy who just runs around dressed as a pirate all the time.
All right.
And I hope it's the case. So
This
now,
week's winner is...
this week's winner is... Are we not going to zoom in?
Oh, we will.
Oh, we will.
Michael Georgia. I butchered it.
Michael Georgalis! Come on down. I'm putting the Vulcan down for a second. I got to bring this over.
Yeah, we're cutting the B-cam.
There we go. I don't trust it just on this side sweep for when I spin. And then you guys see, obviously, I have some stuff that we're going to talk about. This was in the coming soon section. I saw some people talking about. But yeah, we're working on a lot of stuff over here. So I'm going to start it. The Vulcan is still on the board. So George, was it George? Oh, Michael George. Michael Georgalis. Michael Georgalis. This is your spin, sir. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1. Vulcan, 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 Vulcan. Extra spin for a live member. Oh, baby. I don't have a... Ooh. Well, now should it be... Okay. What I'm going to have everybody do if you're watching the show, just leave a comment in the comment section. It could be the letter A. That lets us know you're here. If you're just watching, if you haven't, if you don't click into the chat, we're not going to see that you're here watching. So we're going to draw randomly somebody after this next spin. We're just going to draw at random. Alex is going to do it. And he'll pick a random person from the chat. And that's how it's going to work. We're not going to make people ask questions. We're not going to make you have to type something fast and be the first typer. As long as you type something, you're in.
You just blew up chat.
And you're blowing up the chat because people want that extra spin for a live member. This is the first time, right? Second time.
Second time.
This is the second time.
That's how he won the Grippin, though, was off the extra spin.
Okay. All right. All right, so this is the spin for Michael. This is our spin for the winner, not for the live member. We'll get there in a second. Here it comes. $25 gift card. Another one, I know.
I was like, oh my.
I know.
All right.
It's interesting how it goes. $25 for Michael George Alice. You've got a contest. We'll show you that in a second. Contest at Motion RC. And then Alex is picking at random. It is Flyboy Adventures in RC Planes. I know that dude. I've seen him on YouTube channels. He is a huge fan of the Patrinsic brothers, and he is now our next winner. So, Flyboy Adventures in RC?
Yep.
It's a long channel name. He's there. So this spin is for you, my good man. Ready? 3, 2, 1. That's a big spin. Soldering station. You get right between the Vulcan and the extra spin. Oh, man.
All your spins were in that
But
little area.
Baku soldering station. It's an awesome soldering station. If you don't solder, then you will learn, young Padawan. It is worth it. And it's a solid soldering station. So congratulations to our winners. $25 gift card and a soldering station. And the fact that we got a spin that we can now, for the live spin for the member. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
That's the fun of it. And I think it's easier to do it that way. So you didn't have to do anything. As long as you commented a letter, you were in that drawing, because it shows us everybody who's in the chat live. So it makes it a little easier to do that. So, sweet, man. I love those. So, yeah, remember to claim your prize. Email us at contest@motionrc.com. You have until next Friday, both of you, to email me and claim your prize. And if you have a Motion RC account, email me from the email address of said account. It makes it easier to send out your product, whether you're EU or US. So, whew, that was exciting.
Awesome.
Che, what do you think? We almost gave away a Vulcan, man.
That was awesome. That was awesome. So close, man. So close. Right there. Right there.
You've been in the chat for some of the other big wins, right? The biggest, I think,
yes,
Su-35 on Air Guardian and the Old Crow for the Colonel.
Yeah, that Su-35 was crazy.
That was the best. All right, so now moving on. Whew, got to calm down. We're going over to Hobby Squawk. We had one post in our live share, and it was of the MiG from TJ Shan RC, new member to Squawk. Posted this, and again, the link to the Hobby Squawk thread, where if you submit pictures of Motion RC stuff, it's going to make it on the show. That link is in the description of this video, and he just shared a couple pictures of his MiG, some beauty shots, and I dig it. So thank you so much, TJ Shan RC. And I kind of reserved. We don't have too much from the community because we weren't gonna have a lot of time today. I didn't know how much time we were gonna have. You know, it's hard to balance because when we go live, like I told Che, we spoke Wednesday for the first time, but we only spoke for about a half hour. I didn't want to, I wanted to learn some things live with everybody else. I don't want to ask everything that I'm gonna re-ask, before. So it's exciting. I didn't know how much time we would take. Now moving on to the Facebook customer community. So if you guys out there, and if you're watching live on Facebook, remember, we only deal with the comment section on YouTube. So, Facebook is promoting our YouTube. So if you're in Facebook, leaving messages in the chat, then I apologize. The YouTube chat's where you want to be for everything. And but if you're on Facebook, then you can join the Facebook customer community, where you're going to see cool stuff like this. We have Steve Adamson with his F-16. What do you think of that scheme, Che?
Wow, that looks awesome. Look at
I
that.
don't know if I
mean,
can
you know,
handle.
you can't. That just looks amazing. You know,
That
it
looks
just looks great.
gorgeous. I love
Very nice
the way
job.
he did it with the tiger stripe, real
I
tiger
really
meat.
like how I really like how the rudder like really lines up with the paint scheme on just the whole frame. You know, just
Yeah,
really looks good.
yeah, yeah. Right? Yeah. Looking at that now, yeah, it totally blends together. Right? Like you can't even tell there's a turn.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It looks awesome. All right, then. Oh, and Steve Adams, he did do some work in the cockpit too. He added, looks like maybe that stem wings little cockpit
Nice.
display
And the head
Oh,
with the head turns. So he really went nuts, and I thank you so much for posting that, Steve. I can't wait to see it in the air. Then Simon Boz Roberts, he shared his F-18, and he just has, you know, another black and yellow little thing. You want to see it though? That's a good way to do it. Put a little yellow pop on the tail and the verticals and help you see it in the air. Then Scott Meyer, he's another happy AL-37 purchaser. He's like, I've seen it on video, I always wanted it, but you don't realize how big it is until it's sitting in your bedroom and it's taken over your master bed. And then the wife's like, now we got to get rid of this workout equipment that we hang clothes on, and we'll hang the clothes from the AL-37 in the background there.
I might need to get one of those. I might need one of those.
I-
Wow, that thing's huge.
I think you need to do a 49ers team plane. You know, I always
Oh,
want
that
to do
would
a
be
Giants
awesome.
team plane. You know, I love you despite your love of the 49ers as a Giants fan, but it's okay. A lot of history there between those two teams.
My uncle's a Giants fan too, so we often go at it. I'm just kidding.
Uh-oh. There were some losses on both sides. We've been hit hard in the past. I still have bad visions of Michael Strahan pointing to the scoreboard at Terrell Owens in the playoffs,
Big mistake.
up 38-3, and we lost like 41-38. I'll never live that one down. That annoys me the most. But moving on, Michael Holder, and there he is with his coffee mug. He had a Corsair I saw in the other one, but he's got just some couple better pictures of his Flightline Spitfire. Love to see that. Then Mike Frontiero. So this is about 2 minutes. He shared a video of him flying around his Venom. But Alex, if you could scrub towards the landing, he flies it great, but the landing,
Too far.
yep, here we go. He comes down like he must have had a good amount of wind, but it just seemed to come down in almost a stall fashion. I love this one. Like, this is one of those models, sort of like the Venom, like, you just floated down. That couldn't have been, like, the angle of attack on that landing was just awesome. So,
Sure.
Great share, Mike Frontero, and, one of the best sounding jets. Every time you hear it, the Venom just sticks out. Then Cocky Gianni Sanchez with a MiG-21, and I believe his video of the 21, what was it again? I forget. Oh yeah, he loses his drop tank as he takes off in slow-mo, which I thought was, funny. And then I couldn't get the other picture. Somebody, if you go to this thread on our Facebook group, somebody comment on this thread with a video of how to take off the other one, and it's a different guy, and it's his MiG-21, and he dives in, smacks the grass, slides across it, and then manages to still take off and just loses both his drop tanks and continue flying. I couldn't, for whatever, Facebook wouldn't let me download it. But it was awesome. So go check it out if you're on Facebook. Then we had Jets and Wings. Rob with both his
What a legend
Phantoms.
this guy is.
This guy's a legend.
Great work.
Does amazing stuff with his customizations. And we know John Killen's out there.
Yeah.
He replied with all 4 of his, like, the amount of F4s. It's a Phantom Friday for John every Friday. And for him, too. This looks awesome. Then, this was cool, and this will pop up in YouTube, too. Did you see this one, Che? Enrico
I did
Trabi
not.
customized his
That's
ME-262.
I couldn't believe it when I saw it,
Yeah.
to be honest. I'm like, there has to be a mistake here.
He moved the the canopy back to, like, the tail to make it look cartoonish, but he calls it, like, a Batman custom. He used the AL-37 side, wing fences or whatnot on the edges.
It might be the craziest thing.
And it's really cool looking. And he's got video of it. We'll show when we get to the YouTube portion, but there it is, and it looks awesome. I dig it. It's so different, and it looks like something out of Star Wars, like so many German aircraft did, especially back at that time. You've never seen anything like this,
wild.
right? It's such a cool, like a racer. But George Watts, it's so ugly, it's cool.
Yeah.
But like Alpha said, it's a good kit bash. So moving on, then you got Chris Wolfe. Everybody knows who Chris Wolfe is, the RC Geek. Just shared some beautiful pictures of his Tomcat. He does some, I mean, he makes it look real. Like that looks like whenever you watch those videos of the planes coming through the valleys, like the real ones, the real jets. I don't know if you ever been down that YouTube rabbit hole, Che, but you could waste a whole Friday night watching those videos. F-22s, F-35, whatever it is. It's the best. And then we got Bryce Watson. So he was out there again with the MiG and the A-10 and just shared a couple cool pictures of, both of them together. And it looks like, I believe he had some chase. Oh, yeah, no, he was out like a fly-in or some sort. And there were helis. Like, he had a picture of the heli, the MiG, the A-10, all in the air.
Wow.
I forget.
That looks real.
Number 4. Yeah, that heli picture was good. And then he has, then he does FPV chase with the MiG, getting shots like that from behind the A-10. Always love that. Then Alejandro, or the Air Guardian, just some better pictures. He posted like 25 pictures. I only grabbed a couple. The first couple I saw, but that's him with his F-18 and his matching shirt, or his Su-35 shirt. He's got his Air Guardian shirt. I love that shirt. It's a good shirt. I think I'm going to have to rock that shirt. Do you have shirts, Hamilton? Have you done the merch scene yet?
No, I have not, but maybe I'll dive into it.
At 1,000 people, I think you can get on Teespring.
Okay.
Easy. But yeah, look at these shots.
And
I love this too.
Where's my awesome button? Hold on.
Do you have an awesome button?
It's somewhere around.
Hit them
There
all.
it is.
Hit all the buttons.
All the
Awesome. Smooth bomb drop. We gotta get some new ones in there.
I need some ideas.
We need some ideas. Throw out some ideas for Alex of a new graphic that could come across, because we dig it. We need more of that stuff. And that does it. You close out Facebook for the day, Air Guardian, and let's move on to YouTube, where we had 5 videos, and links to all these people's to the video you're going to see are in the description, so you can click on those, give these people likes, subscribes. That's why we do it. Hook them up for sure. And the first one, let's go right to Enrique. He's Enrico Trabe with his Freewing Batman conversion, and this is just part of it, but his YouTube channel is Enrico Trabe Test Flight TV. And here she goes. Their sound. I think their sound. He has music.
Then there's no sound.
Yeah, I would lower that. It's more music over. You don't really hear it as much.
Wow, he's cruising that thing.
But it looks to fly great. I wasn't sure, like, adding those, adding the extra drag out on the wingtips, if that would, make an already stable flyer, less stable. But it seemed to fly pretty good. And then he had somebody chasing it with an Avanti, which I also thought was cool. So good work, Enrico. We've seen him on the channel before and things, and that looks great. So moving on, Blades of Thunder. Those guys, remember Glenn Davis and his buddies building up that Blades of Thunder channel. They were out at a heli show. It was too windy, but some guys took up and hovered, but just some beautiful looking, big scale helis. If you're into the scale helis, definitely give Blades of Thunder a follow. They're building out that channel, still mostly new, but they're going to be coming up with all sorts of heli content, from builds to help, I would think, and when they go out and fly, of course. So check them out.
Awesome.
Oh, and then Love RC. I like this was new. He shared it on Facebook, but just a simple flight of his Flightline Bearcat, and I loved his landing. And it was funny on the landing. You can raise the volume on this one if there is volume. Oh, maybe I took the volume off on it.
There it is.
Oh, there is some volume there. It was
dig
low.
it up a little bit.
But nice pass. Straight as an arrow. Love that. That was such a good shot. And then his landing was really was funny. He gets lucky on the landing. right at the end. Well, I think the video starts out, it's all raining, so he, running out there before it starts raining again. But then as he taxis off,
Good.
yeah, you hit that divot.
Nice wet landing.
It stands.
And
Is it gonna stay?
And I bow to the
And then it
audience.
falls back down. Yay! You can taxi it back, maybe. But either way, love that. And that's Love RC. Pretty simple YouTube name to follow. Then Stem Wings. He's the guy who's doing the control, the displays in the cockpit. Really cool. But he put reverse thrust on his AL-37. So
Does he take off backwards?
he takes off. Now, he slowed down the footage. The takeoff looks scale, but he definitely slowed down the footage. I saw somebody in a comment ask if he did, and of course he did. But but he does the landing in real time, and it just looks cool when you pop the reverse thrust, and that's scale.
That's
Obviously,
definitely
that's every pilot does a 737 barrel roll with their passengers in it. But why not? Yeah, Che, you got that to look forward to when you're on your first flight, if you're ever on one.
I'll be one
And
done
there
for
it is,
me.
reverse thrust. Worked well, slowed it down. Really, really cool. So thanks for sharing. And then last, the Black Star FPV demo team. This has just been coming this is the new thing. This is
all about it.
this is the best. So these guys are just practicing and practicing. They said they're practicing for some sort of show. They're gonna perform this at a show. So, and this is them just practicing, having 4 jets in the air together. It ain't easy, even if you're FPV, to get your
he's got a
speeds
MiG
all
29.
right. Yeah, T-33, MiG-29, maybe 2
Wow.
MiG-29s, I think.
That's awesome.
And an
That
A-10,
is
is
cool.
that an A-10?
And they're all on FPV.
Yeah, A-10. And they're all on FPV, and
Wow.
they're trying to maintain that distance. So, I'm sure they've got telemetry, so they know I'm at 60 miles per hour, I'm at 80. Everybody be at
Right.
80. Everybody be at 80. I'm waiting till one of these videos where one guy is inverted on top of the other, and the scale Tom Cruise middle finger to the pilot below. That's somebody gets that, then RC just ends right there. Everybody will just bow down and end their RC flying hobby. So that'll do it for our YouTube tour. So again, all those links are in the description of this video, along with a lot of other stuff. Always check the description for everything you need. They don't run telemetry, Air Guardian. Wow, if they're just talking doing that, that's probably even harder. I would think having the telemetry readout on your goggles would make it a whole lot easier. Not that that makes it that much easier, but easier as it is without it, I guess. All right, so coming soon, guys. I just wanted to show you some of the things on the table, let you know what's coming to the channel. So I got the Dragonfly. We did that assembly video the other day, and this is that new Seacraft. And again, if you notice, you might notice it disappeared from the website for a second because we made a mistake. We called it Ready to Fly. The other ones are, but this one was not. This one's plug and play. So they contacted the early adopters, sorted all that. But when I got mine, you do have to add. People wanted this as PMP, more anyway. So you lucked out. It is a PMP aircraft, but I'm excited to get this one out. I've flown similar aircraft like it, but a fun delta wing to skip across the lake is what you want out of the Dragonfly. Then we got the Freeman. So this is the larger of the new Skynetic gliders. We were in the process of trying to finish up, get this video in, but we couldn't do it this morning. So we'll wrap this up, and I'm excited to get this. Your pusher prop, and I like the, these new 4 planes. These colors really pop when you take them out. Like, it's really, really bright, comparatively speaking to, like the Freewing. Like, you're going to see that really pop out in the sky,
Yes, you will.
Which is pretty awesome. So I'm excited about this. And this one does come, again, ready to fly. So you get a nice transmitter in there with some options. Not just, significant transmitter. It does have FHSS, so I believe it is on a Futaba protocol. Would be my guess. You're getting like 2 props with these two. They have a lot of differences, but they're really awesome. So I'm excited to get these out and fly. So we'll be doing these soon. Then, if you guys saw on the table before you, oh yeah, we've got the Sherman finally. This is the Easy 8. This is the Toro Sherman. We had to get, you know, I only have 2 German tanks right now, so making a tank fighting IR battle video looks kind of silly when you have the 2, you know, Tiger 1 fighting a Sturmtiger. So now we got the Sherman in front, and this thing just as sweet as the others. Comes painted. This one though, you add the decals out of the box, but you got the barrel recoil. You've got nice painted pilot, painted tanker with his binoculars on there, and then all the little ancillaries, a few little details like you add the gun and stuff. But again, all metal.
There you go.
Look at that. It's so sweet. And then, you know, obviously they're all 16th scale, so when I pull the daddy, look at that. That fits on highways. That didn't. This was easier to produce than this.
Very nice.
You know, but it would take, what, 5 of these at least to 1 of these. But I love having them out there. But it was cool. Again, then, you know, I get this out, and I'm watching YouTube videos yesterday of the Sherman and, you know, all the different conversions the Sherman had. So it was really cool to see. You know, there's actually a museum in Britain where they have the Fury tank. I watched a YouTube video where, you know, they must have a bunch of different variations of M3s, M4s, Firefly, all of them, you know, driving around a circle like a demo. It just looked really cool. And they had this one. You know, yeah, I was nerding out on HVSS, right? The horizontal volute stabilization system that that allowed the Sherman to attach the bigger 76 millimeter barrel on top and such. So yeah, that's where I was on YouTube yesterday. If you guys want some interesting watches, search those terms, and you're gonna have some fun. So we're doing plethora of all, and then I also got in touch with Jason Miller. If you guys remember, he's got himself a Black Horse Spitfire and a Black Horse P40.
You may remember
and
season 1 of
yeah,
the
from
live show.
season 1 of the live show. He was putting a bunch of different systems on it, but he's got a new field that we're going to try to get to in the next couple weeks. And we're going to make it a big Black Horse Flying Day video. So we're going to do the big Spitfire. He's got the P40. Then I have the Zero and that P47 here. So we plan on bringing them all out and doing a fun video with some big balsa, which is always great. Speaking of big balsa, I was sorry to see your L39 go down, Jay.
Hey,
You
that's
got
okay. You know,
that was your first balsa build?
yeah, that was my first one. So, you know, I'm not really like, you know, it sucks, you know, and it was expensive, you know, but that's all part of it, man. You know, you can't really sit back and lean on the money the whole time because I did get enjoyment out of it. You know, I had an amazing maiden flight. You know, so I mean, it gets a little bit upset when I think about it, but, you know, the power system's
sorry I brought it up. I just was like, let me dig that wound in while I got him here.
No, it's fine though. You know what I mean? So, you know, I was able to salvage quite a bit of stuff from there. You know, I lost quite a bit, but I was able to salvage quite a bit of things. You know, and the power system was the main thing, right? So, yeah, so that lives on through the Raptor. So
I see Brandon Phelps asking about my Hellcat. Right now it's on delay for a second, and I need help. I need somebody who knows their way around a gas motor because I'm having trouble. Getting my idle speed right and just making sure it works. You know, I'm trying to teach myself, and I've gotten to the point where I'm just wasting time because there's something I'm obviously missing that somebody who's done this a bunch of times would be like, oh, you didn't do that. And once somebody tells me that, then we'll go. So I got to find somebody to help me out with that. But hopefully I'll be able to do that soon. But you see, we got a lot of stuff to do, and there's only one of me. So now I want to ask, anybody have any questions for Che? We'll let you guys ask away now, and any other questions I'll happily answer. If you have questions about some of these things, the Vulcan, you know, Che's Black Horse crash. If you want to talk about that, you know, if you want to rub some salt in that wound's still open. If you want to.
you know.
Yeah, the video's out there. Go to his channel and you could see. Oh, someone's saying we lost audio.
Trey, talk again for a second.
I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Should be hearing it now. I don't know
Should
what
be hearing
happened.
him, but am I seeing my levels? Where did my Yeti go?
You're at the bottom.
Oh, I'm at the bottom.
Hey,
Can't
it's
hear
no
it
problem.
all anymore.
Give him 8 seconds and see if it kicks back on.
All right, let's see.
There we go.
Back now. All right, people are saying
All
it's back
right.
Trey,
now.
talk about the crash again. I don't think they heard you.
No problem.
And you can
Yeah,
check
so,
this out on his channel too.
Yeah, so going back towards the crash of the L-39, I don't know exactly what happened. Upon going over to the crash site, it was completely mangled in a million pieces. So, it's kind of hard to determine, if it was a control surface failure or something like that. In my opinion, it was, but because I was already through my turn and I was more than 3/4 throttle, and, I don't really feel like I need to be at full throttle through my turn. So, it was a heavy bird, things like that. So like, there was just a lot of possibilities and factors that could have came in, I let everybody weigh their own opinion on it and things like that, because ultimately I don't even know what happened. So like, but I know that when I take off, there's a risk that it's not going to come back down as it went up. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a loss and it sucks. It really does suck. And I really do appreciate all your guys' support because I don't know if you guys know this, but RC Air Marshal did a stream a few weeks ago of flying and they donated about $500 towards me, $500 and some change.
Oh wow.
To me for that loss at his flying that he did his virtual flying. So it was really, really nice.
Oh, that's incredible, man. See?
Yeah, so
That's awesome.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. And
that's incredible.
So yeah.
Thank you. Dave Marshall always coming through with. So he dropped like $99 for another spin, and the guy won the Old Crow because of Dave Marshall on that show. Dave Marshall, definitely good man there. I was on his show on Monday. We were having some fun. I was telling people that you would be on this week. So I see Frank Bruno had 2 questions. One about the Bison. That is definitely coming soon. It's probably the next thing that as far as big that you're gonna see from Motion. So I don't think that's a secret. So just hang tight. The Bison's coming. And then what do you want to come back to me? And then what's it called? He asked, he said, is the F-86 or the A6 still the best Freewing model, or is it the Vulcan? It's an interesting question. I don't know if people would say the F-86 or the A6 are the best Freewing model. So, I mean, there's so many great models, but totally different experiences there to compare those two. So, the best Freewing model is whatever your favorite one is, is really the case of whatever one you want and you enjoy flying. Can you show the landing wheels on the Vulcan? Wondering if my son should get one. Works well on grass. It does work well on grass. I mean, we went up closer in other, in last week's video, but it's, the wheels, your standard fare for 70 millimeter. They're not that they're big, but it's all trailing link suspension. So again, it really all comes down to the grass that you fly off of. You got to know your grass. But the plane still sits high enough. You could check out Che. He flies from a grass field, if you will, that, that looked a little thick, right, Che?
This is very thick.
It's very thick, and you got off with it. I mean, it wasn't
very
the prettiest, but it got off.
I was surprised. I was surprised. I mean, I wasn't really expecting it to take off only because of my grass. Not because of the capabilities of it, but because of my grass. I really never can take off any of my jets on my grass. Because it's just too thick, so.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's good, but it's built for it. So some grasses it's going to work great on. Some grasses it might not. It all depends on, you got to know your grass field. That's why it's very tough to do it. Stock questions, I don't know. But if it's not on the website, it will be back in stock as soon as it can. Are the inlets around the intakes foam or plastic? These are just foam. It's foam around. There's no plastic on the outside of this model here, at least in that section. Just on the nose and then on some of the edges there.
So I've seen somebody in the chat named Claudio.
Claudio?
Yeah, he asked me a couple times what's the logo on the MiG-21 wings. But this is the MiG-21. This is just a custom livery. I did not do this. I actually got this from a guy, and he did all the work on this. And it turned out absolutely great, right? So I just kind of
looks like a Manu job.
It wasn't like the best You know, it's got some lightning on the bottom and stuff. You know, it's really nice. It has a scale door on it, which I finished on there. It does open and close as well. And yeah, you know, this is just a nice jet, but there was nothing in it when I bought it. I got this jet for $80 as a frame, just the retracts and all. You know, it had servos in it, but like the guy was just one of those guys that like wasn't a good modeler, right? So, you know, a lot of the stuff wasn't working properly. So I ended up just gutting the whole thing and putting all new servos in it from my spare parts boxes and whatnot, right? So, and turned out to be great. So that's the same
That's
story
awesome.
with the
It
Gosh.
looks awesome.
Air Guardians is very metal. I agree.
Very metal. It is very metal. Frank Bruno, your question was directed towards beginners. The Vulcan's going to be a great first jet because you don't have to fly it fast. That's the beauty of, you know, a good trainer jet or a good trainer plane in general. They're going to fly great in slower speeds, and then you can progress with them. Obviously, you can rip it with it, but you can also, you know, half throttle the Vulcan all around and, you know, and learn to fly as long as you know how to fly already. If you're already flying an F-86 and an A6, then you're going to enjoy. You'll be able to fly that one, no problem. Scroll back up again. I think I might have saw one more.
Yeah, there's no
Somebody
mods, no
said-
mods needed. No mods needed, in my opinion, in that Vulcan out of the box.
In the
You
Vulcan?
know, somebody asked that. Yeah, it's just it flies good the way it is.
I mean, I
and
think the
there's not
mods would be
many.
a few cosmetic. If you want to change the color, grab a rattle can and go nuts. It'll be like any other, you know. It'll look great. And if you wanted to add some lights, I could see that as a mod. But as far as, I don't think it needs a change of power system. I don't think you need to waste money for a little change in a power system. You know, it just, if so fast as is, right out of the box,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
There's not many jets you can just turn. I can in the video you guys seen in the beginning, there was a couple times 2 turns that I did no power. So there's not many jets that you can actually turn in coming in a turn and not have any power gliding through. You know, because usually they'll start to stall on you. You need to have that power with these EDFs, but this one, you know, it was doing it just fine. So I kind of like blew my mind a little bit there. You know.
Yep. And that's what's you need in a trainer jet, is it has to be forgiving, you know, because if you're gonna get new guys on it, you know, learning throttle controlled descent is not for a beginner. You know, a beginner's gonna cut power and glide it home for the most part, and like you did in that video and what I do with it, that's what you want in a trainer, even though that's not the best habits, but that's how you start, and that's how you grow, and you'll grow with it to the point where you can do just, you know, throttle control descents and such. So have I missed any any mods made out of the box? No. So we answered that one from Big Jim. So no mods out of the box.
No, somebody asked me if I fly prop planes too. I do. I don't like I don't have anything against them. You know, it's just that usually there's more jets that are on my radar beforehand. You know, when I'm going to look at prop planes. Prop planes don't really have a giant place in my heart versus the jets, right? So
I feel like you'd love a Havoc though, something like a sports racer kinds. I feel I could see you having a lot of fun with speed. You know, that's what's great about, you know, some of those models. Like, I think you'd have a good time with the Havoc.
Yeah, definitely.
You enjoy some speed.
Yeah, anything that's quick, anything that's fast is like in my cup of tea. You know, so I just don't like, you know, go out and buy the prop planes for the most part. You know, I had a Corsair, you know, and I've had like an extra, but you know, they're just not the same. So
yeah, you got the jet bug, and there's no problem with that. Oh, and I see Air Guardian. He thinks it's an F-15 coming because I'm wearing. This is like, I have 3 of the shirts from Teespring right now that I just keep swapping them out. You know, hey, read into it what you want to. Read into it, I guess. Brandon Phelps, do you think it would be hard to add folding wings to the Corsair? Yeah, you know, if you're going to do that to a plane, the whole mold would have to be changed. You know, there's no modification that's going to be easy because,
cut your wings,
yeah,
and put a servo
you
on
know,
there.
that Corsair, the way that wing is molded and the construction inside of it, because it's not just foam, you can go back to, you know, Alpha did a lot of CAD. We probably spoke about it there, but, you know, there's so much in the wing. You know, that would have to be a whole new mold, and molds are expensive. It would have to be a whole different aircraft. You know, I've seen it's done, but it's just the type of thing, does doing that add anything to what the goal of an RC flying plane is. And the number one goal for all RC planes should be to fly as expected.
And do you want to pay for
do you want to
cost
pay
that?
for folding wings and all that extra weight? You're going to pay for it in the air and out of your pocket to be on the ground and just fold your wings up?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, it's
you know, like now
now
that I think about it, you know,
yeah.
maybe, but, you know, for the most part, no, you know. We want it to fly well, and that's one of my favorite. I have another video. I took it out the other day, and we're just having some fun. It's been a while since I flew that bird. But, guys, we've already hit 1 o'clock, so that'll do it so much for our show. I just want to go back to Che for a second. Thank you so much, man. Any last words from you?
No, man, I just want to express deep thank you for even having me on the show today. I really appreciate it. Any time to be able to come here and talk RC is just awesome. You know, I never really seen myself sitting here. If you guys asked me a year ago if I would see myself sitting here talking to you, the answer would be no. You know, so I'm just very thankful, and you know, just thank you. So I really appreciate all the subscribers.
And we thank you so much for, you know, doing what you do. Just, you know, going out and allowing people to, you know, you might be at Hamilton's level, so they can see a reflection of themselves at their skill level on all these different channels. And, you know, for you taking the time to go out there, and Ashley, of course, for helping you guys out. We look forward to watching your channel grow. And, yeah, man, thank you so much for coming on today. And I hope everybody who's here heads over to Hamilton Hangar. Link is in the description. It's the first link there. You can subscribe and, you know, like his stuff. And definitely click the bell for Che's channel so that you get notified whenever he drops content, because it's a lot of fun. The enthusiasm that comes out of him when he does something good, or even the sadness that comes out of him. You know, the heart is there, and we see it. And, you know, thanks again so much for joining us today.
Yeah, man, I really try to keep the mood light and jokes there, right? Because, you know, it's all fun at the end of the day. So there's no reason to get too upset about it, right? You still got to keep the mood light. So if you guys remember on my L39 crash, I said the pilots were not able to eject. I had to keep the mood light and go walking over there. Right?
The pilots went down with that ship, man. They went down with that ship.
Right.
They knew Che was gonna ream them out anyway when when he got back. I've been chewed out before. But all right, man, Che, have a great day.
Thanks, Che.
And
Thanks,
everybody
man.
else,
Thank you, guys.
thank you so much for joining us for episode 33. We'll be back next week. Hopefully, we're going to have some more flying footage. We had Hurricane or Tropical Depression Fred or whatever it was. This week, the weather was just not good, so we got into the builds and assembly. So next week, we're going to take some of this stuff out. Hopefully, we'll have more videos, and we'll have something else fun for you guys on another Fun Fill Friday show. Remember, sub, spin, and win, guys. I hope next week we get another extra spin for a live member, because that was awesome. And if you won today, contact us at contest@motionrc.com. Everybody have a great weekend flying, driving, boating, whatever have you, and we'll see you next Friday at Motion RC Live.
See ya.
See ya!